4:30, meeting will come to order. Angie, will you call roll?
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Bunting.
Present.
Commissioner Gay.
Here.
Commissioner Sapsy.
Here.
Commissioner Owens.
Here. Invocation. Tim said he'd like to say the invocation.
Our heads, dear Heavenly Father, please be with us as we discuss county activities and guide us to constructive conclusions. In Jesus Christ's name.
Amen. As for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, if we can combine 1 and 2 on new business. I didn't realize that, the holiday calendar was not attached to the rules of organization. So when I first published and printed your packets, I neglected to get that holiday calendar in there. And so when I noticed, then I made a new agenda item, which didn't need to be made. So we can cover it all in one point. And then if we can delete number 3 in new business as well.
Okay. Do we have a
Move the agenda as presented.
motion by George, second by Steve? Support there to approve the agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Public comment. You'd come to the,
Good afternoon. I see everybody's back to the new year, business as usual.
Yeah.
I don't know any of you if you're farmers or not, but I'd like the prayers about the farmers that I was hearing. I'm hoping that I can go just about 4 minutes. I see you want 3, but I'm just a little bit over. Anyways, I don't know any of you. I'm unsure if this is the right place for this message. But this message needs to be heard, and I have to start somewhere. My name is Sheila Solomon. I grew up in Gratiot County. My family still lives here, and my father lives in North Star Township. I'm here to talk about the solar farms that are going in across the county and, quite frankly, across our country. I'm a little late in the game regarding voicing concerns about the solar farms because they are here and they are growing. Never would I have thought I would be speaking in a public forum. I don't even like the sound of my own voice, but it's all I have. I don't have wealth or influence. I'm not a farmer or a large landowner, but I have an interest in my family's future, and I'm alarmed about the amount of farmland that is being leased by the energy companies. With solar leases being signed and the solar fields going in our area, I decided to look into an established solar field for myself to either confirm or dispel any preconceived notions that I had, because there is a very real threat that a solar lease could be signed for the farm that surrounds my dad's property. Out of the many things that I experienced that day was not only what I saw, large-scale solar farm on farmland, but it was more about what I heard. For the residences in the vicinity of a solar farm, they have to endure the loud hum of the transformers, inverters, not exactly sure what they call them, all day long. There are quite a few of these electrical components that go into a field, and they all make noise, which combined is very loud. No one would choose to live near this. But in looking deeper into the solar farms with information provided online, I became aware of the solar farms that are cropping up all over the United States, and it is troubling to see how much farmland is being consumed. The East Coast appears to have more solar farms than crop farms. While that may be an exaggeration, it is a fact that the once fertile farmland used for actual food production is being overshadowed by the cancerous growth of the energy companies. This is the real threat. At the rate we are going, food insecurity, food shortages, and famine is in our future. This is not an exaggeration. Just think about the possibilities. What kind of a world are we leaving for our children? It does not take a rocket scientist to figure out if hundreds of thousands of acres are taken out of food production for decades. We will see an increase in prices of food. In addition, with the amount of people coming into our country and weather-related crop failures in any given year, we are looking at not only higher prices, but shortages. There is an abundance of information online regarding the relevance of the negative impacts of the solar fields, and everyone should do their due diligence to get all of the information for themselves. But I believe the biggest threat comes down to the basic necessity of survival, food. Right now, farmers and landowners have all of the power. Farmers, don't give up your land for a few bucks that could be worthless someday. Just think about all the what ifs when it comes to our government that heavily subsidizes the energy companies and the threat of eminent domain. Farmers, your land is worth more than gold and silver or any other commodity. For the farmers that have signed leases, I'm sure you have considered all of your options and you feel you are doing the right thing for your family. For the farmers that are thinking about it, please consider this. If hundreds of thousands of acres are being taken out of food production and our population keeps growing from people coming into our country and you keep producing food, perhaps you and your descendants will be the ones to benefit the most in the near future. If you are not a farmer or landowner, talk to your neighbors, start a respectable conversation. There once was a time when our ancestors sought freedom from heavy hands that wished to control the population. There are bad players out there today who want to control everything we do, right down to the land we live on and the food we eat. Just think about it. There is no more new land. There is nowhere to start over. There is no Mayflower 2. Farmers, we are depending on you. The world needs you to keep producing food. Let us not be ambushed. We need to see the bigger picture. We need to support our farmers. We need to warn our farmers, as many of them are not aware of all the negative aspects of a solar lease. Many of them are the last generation to farm and have not considered any other options other than to sell out. There are options. The farmers have all of the power right now. They can say no. They can change the ordinances and dictate further setbacks for their neighbors. They cannot lease all of an entire field. They can consider dual-use solar farms called agrivoltaics, or leave acreage along the perimeters of the solar panels to be set aside for future use because one day they or their descendants may need a little strip of land to grow their own food. Please understand the urgency of my message. Consider all of your options. Some of us only have our voices and we are sounding the alarm. And then just as a closing, this is the sound. This is right across the road from a farm, from a farmhouse. And there's several of these in a field.
I've heard it in my area where they said that people have had to move because the noise gave them headaches and things like that. Where did you say you were from?
I'm from, I grew up here in Gratiot County. My dad lives in North Star Township.
Do you still live in Gratiot?
I live in Isabella,
Isabel, okay, that's not too far.
but I'm always here. I feel like this is my home.
I want to give you my business card. I just received a book in the mail. And I don't know why I get a lot of stuff these days, but you might be interested in this book. Let me give you my address and phone number here. My phone number's on there.
Is it okay if I pass out an essay that I did?
Yeah, I'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
It's a rustic essay. It's been a long time since I've written anything like that.
One of the big miracles in my lifetime is we've quadrupled or more food production on the same amount of land, and I think that's a miracle. I think it is.
Pardon me? Does it have your this one does not. It has just an email at the bottom.
Okay. And is your name spelled S-I?
SALMON, like salmon.
I agree with you 100%.
Thank you for your SALMON, like salmon.
Just take that.
But I used to use it, if anybody knows any Zucker.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Okay, consideration of the consent calendar.
For the consent calendar.
Moved by George and supported by Steve to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor? Yeah.
Aye.
Nay. Administrative report, administrators.
Well, with the holiday season, I don't have much of a report. Sheila and I were able to work the off week, so we just maintained operations while staff took time off. the day before, or well, I should say the night before we went off for Christmas, we did receive a draft for the 2022 financial audit. I was able to work on getting together the county's response to that. However, they were closed last week. So no additional forward motion was made, but I do expect that to be finalized this week, and I'm hoping to get them in front of this board as soon as possible. I'm sure you have questions to ask of them. Any questions on that?
How did it look overall? You know, it's preliminary, but
Well,
anything that jumped out at you or anything that
what we have,
startled?
did anything surprise me? No.
Okay.
We will obviously have material misstatements
Mhm.
or material findings, and number one, because our audit report was late. That in itself is a material finding. We had to bring in a contractor to reconcile accounts in the treasurer's department. So the books were not ready for audit. That is a material finding.
Okay.
And as far as that, I'll bring more of the details to you
Yeah.
at a later time, but it was what you would expect based on the updates you have received from Terry and myself. That would conclude my report if there's no additional questions.
Okay. George, do you have any?
The only thing that, well, because of the holiday, the only thing that we had before Christmas was the Board of Health meeting. And that was just the year-end, normal situation.
Yeah.
I went to the Republican meeting at the bowling alley. And Chuck Murphy's got a building, an M46, right across from that A-frame that we had a couple years ago. New operations out.
It's gonna be the new Republican headquarters.
Yeah. So. In here. So, yeah, I realize I'm not doing as much as I should. I'm gonna attend more township meetings. They start this week. I have 3 townships, Emerson, Arcata, and Sumner. They meet on different nights. And also the Elma one. We have a district in Elma, and we do, and I do too. And the Elma one meets on Tuesday, so they do meet on different nights. And I would really like to be on more committees here. I'm sure that's going to be discussed. And Dave, you're the one that makes decisions and be compliant. But I'd like to be put on more. And I was put off the health department meeting, so I didn't go to the meeting. But I kind of like to be put back on it because there's people there concerned that what I say isn't very good, and I say what's in my heart. If you don't agree with me, you're right. And we should work together, even if we don't agree with each other. We should, for the sake of the people. We're here for people. That's it. And so, the more I think about that. But anyway.
More to come.
But
In?
Actually, I have not had any meetings at the end of the year. So I took a vacation. I went to Florida to see a friend in a nursing home. I was gone 4 days. I'm glad to be back.
because of the change of the committees, I ended up going to the health department meeting with George. So basically it was the end of the year, kind of a Christmas, everybody's giving each other pleasantries and all that kind of stuff. George did inform me that they would have donuts, so that was good, but I had to bring my own coffee, so that was a good thing. So I made sure I had that. Yesterday would have been the Parenton meeting, but with it being the beginning of the year, and I had a call into the president, but she didn't call me back because I was just gonna see if there was anything to report on from there, but I didn't hear back from her Miss Madonna. Other than that, that's kind of what's going on. I've talked with two of the other township supervisors, just helped one of them out on a personal matter that he had. And another one actually ran into him at the gas station, so that was they didn't have anything earth shattering to update me on in their townships. Yeah. And I didn't hear a thing on, you want to read anything?
Well, the only township that I visited was in your district.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't step on any toes.
No, not at all.
He was here and he asked for money.
Yeah, for Washington, yeah.
I didn't have a lot going on. Just checked that out and it was open. I had to talk with Howard.
Oh, he was actually there. Oh, good. You told me there were some people there, but you didn't tell me.
He was in the kitchen and the clerk was in the broom closet. And that was when they were here, they were saying that they want to have more space so they could have.
It literally is the broom closet where they store stuff there. So, yeah. I think it will be a wonderful addition. So, yeah.
Okay. Consideration of new business. Gonna combine number 1 and number 2. Approve the rules of organization in the holiday schedule and board appointments. Any discussion?
I think Sheila's gonna.
I think Sheila wants.
Yeah. Who's gonna walk us through the.
I would love for some discussion. Okay, so Chris is sharing his screen just for anybody that's observing. These are the rules of organization. These are done at the first meeting of the new year. There is not a lot that's going to be changed in this, but it is highlighted anything that is going to be changing. So the first thing that we are going to look at is going to be on page 5, which is under the chairperson. So 2.1.2, number 8. The chairperson will serve as the chair of the Airport Authority Board as well, which has already been established. Then there is 2.1.3, which is a resignation of the chair. This is just putting in what we just went through, the same process, just so that it's consistent. Then if this happens again, we know exactly how we want to handle things. So just is written as how it was handled. Page 6 is talking about a vacancy. This is coming right out of statute. So this is what our legal requirements are if there is a vacancy. And this is whether it is due to a death, resignation, removal from the district, removal from office. And we have the 30 days to fill the position essentially. So it just shows the MCLs that go in accordance with that. On page 7, it's just a date. So it just is today's date.
I have a couple of questions before you go too far.
Mhm.
The one, back on the page 6, 2.5. I see that this is all highlighted. Was this changed or is this what it was?
It's added. It was not there previously.
Okay, because I thought, I see that's on here, if there's a vacancy in the first, I didn't get a chance to,
This verbiage comes directly from our legal counsel.
okay.
I think it's word for word what I found online. It's like state statute. And
It is statute.
down there.
Okay, I was gonna check that online and
If-
actually I was gonna go on my.
Basically, if someone resigns in enough time to get them into an election, that's how, you know what I mean? You got to do it within 30 days. And if you don't, then there's an election and
If you look at the third paragraph down, it talks about a petition that's necessary if it needs to go on to so depending on the election schedule. But again, it's all statute.
It doesn't happen very often, but. Okay.
But now we have it outlined so that if it does happen, we know where to go. Page 7 is just the date, saying today is the date that it was changed. Page 9 at the bottom, same thing. It just changes it to 2024 from 2023. Page number 10 in 5.2 for order of business. It is added that there will be a discussion and report on the airport during the second meeting. And that's all in the actual rules. So attachment A, which is page 13, is going to be the assignments. The two that are highlighted are Greater Gratiot and MSU Extension. Those ones do need to be decided because those terms have run out.
Okay. Jan, do you want to be kept on MSU Extension?
Yes.
Okay. And I would like to stay on Greater Gratiot. Chris, you're on there, ex officio, right?
I do believe so, yes.
Okay.
I know there was discussion, are there going to be any other changes or are we going with this?
Well, yeah, I'd like a lot of changes.
Okay, this would be the appropriate time.
Right. The only committee I was on this past year was the health committee. These other things he got me on, they either didn't meet or they just kind of left me in the dark. I would have tried to attend.
Which ones are you talking about?
Well, all the ones that aren't the health health department.
I'm
talking about all the ones that I'm named on. Great Lakes Bay, Michigan Works.
Being an alternate really doesn't mean you're on.
Yeah, I'm an alternate. Well,
Northern Michigan Counties one is the one that.
Northern Michigan Counties. That's the one I guess I was just put on. I'd like to. Steve, I heard you wanted to be on that one, so.
Well, I enjoyed our trip when Dave and I went on a little field trip. It was fun to go.
Oh, good.
And I had some ideas of things that I would love to. I don't think they've ever done a tour in Gratiot County, and when Dave and I were driving back from, and we sat in Shepherd and had a hamburger. I had all kinds of things running through my head. I think we have some really cool things in Gratiot County from just the talk from the group that was there. I really think that they would find a tour of like Avalon Tahoe that uses part of the old Republic truck plant, a cool place to come and visit and go through that plant. Or right across the highway here from us is ZFS, one of the largest soybean processing facilities in the country. It's brand new, highest technology. They've doubled their storage capacity this year. I think I was telling Jan, some of the products, you just went to Japan, they literally process oil and ship it to make, it's pretty awesome to have that here in our county. So I think there's some things that from the meeting that I did go to, which wasn't much of a meeting, because we were standing at the banks of a river, but anyhow, it was a neat group of people that, I found, there's a reason why you wanted to go back, Dave, was because it's kind of a neat group of people. So.
Every other month, there's a tour someplace.
Yeah.
And we have gone to the recycling place in Emmett County.
Mm-hmm.
And they have robots that do the recycling.
Oh.
And the stuff is just zipping through and this. It's very interesting. And we also went to the new jail in Wexford County. for that. And then the last one was,
Power dam there.
yeah, not Oscoda.
Mhm.
And they have a business meeting every other month.
Yep.
Yeah,
So is that a yes? We could switch?
Well, we just need to, I enjoyed the health department as well. That was a neat meeting because actually the lady who was talking, we ended up, she sparked some interest in me because I have a personal friend who has something wrong with them that they've never been able to figure out what is wrong. And so I had
It was Dr.
a dialogue.
Morris. That was Dr. Morris. that was-
Yeah, that we had an open dialogue with her about, could this be what is affecting this gentleman? He's now, he's still alive, but he's just really had some serious medical issues that they haven't ever been able to put their finger on. And it was interesting as I'm sitting in this meeting, basically, we went through intros was kind of the thing because it was this holiday meeting and then she had this presentation and my brains get rolling on, I was like, wow, I wonder if that could be what happened here. In fact, that day I then went and told his wife, went to the Masonic home and said, have you looked at this? Because it was that, she gave me a bunch of notes and contact information and I provided it to her. So I'm the new guy to the board, so I'm willing to go to whatever you guys want me to go to. I'm totally good with.
I guess it's Dave's decision, but I would
I'm
like.
good with going, whatever you guys feel I'm the best fit for. I'm open, so.
I think it would come down to number one, is Dave willing to make that swap? And if not, number two, is there another board that you'd be interested in serving on or?
Well, I
Is that what you're looking
don't,
for?
there are boards that are on, they don't meet or something, while I'm alternate for the Great Lakes Bay, Michigan Works.
Right.
The 8-cap thing, I haven't heard about that. I guess maybe I was on that all year. I don't know.
No, there's a school teacher that sits on that board.
So they don't meet or
Well,
what?
they do, but it has to do with the school. And that was one of the ones that I was given, but because of, actually, I had Yvette on that board. I guess she didn't go. I can't remember. You probably know more about this, Angie, than I do. That's when we found the school teacher.
Well, I think is your alternate, and I think Jen Cook is your alternate.
Mobile Medical Response, MMR. I'm an alternate.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Did you say they meet 4 times a year? Is that the one?
Correct.
Well, I never,
3 times, yep.
4 times.
well, I never really got anything on that either. So I would like to be more active and I would, again, I would like to be back on the health board if, they gave me no reason why they wanted me to be gone other than the fact that I might be uncomfortable with things I say, but I'm trying to represent the people. What they think. And so, well, anyway, you guys decide.
But no, everybody should be able to say what they want to. Same thing on this board. If somebody has something to say, we respect what their opinion is and how they feel about something. And you don't kick them off the board or anything like that because you didn't like what they said. And I don't think that's what it was probably going to be anyways. Probably, I don't know. I don't know all the circumstances, but if it's something you want to still be on, you should still be able to be on it, I would think, especially if you want to trade back. But it only gives you one board to be on. And I see.
What one board is that besides the one I was on, the health?
That's the health department for the.
What other board am I on really that meet?
Well, just doing the simple math, there's 13 committees and 2 alternates, so that's 15. There's 5 of us. That would be 3 each that we should each be on, and to make that
three
3 committees.
Committees.
So.
Might want to check the availability of the person that can be on the committee.
Yeah, on the committees.
What time they meet.
Yep. And that's not on here, the times of the things, right?
I think pretty much all of us are retired, so we can meet anytime.
Yeah, I'm flexible, really.
I think I'm all set. I have my three. Well, maybe not. I guess I can talk to you, and I guess I'm back on MMR. So that I'm all set. And then Dave, you're all set. And Steve, you have,
I'm on Parks and Rec, the Health Department.
no, you just gave that up to,
I didn't give up anything. I just,
No, we're still in conversation mode.
I'm just. I mean, if that's what the board, I'm willing to do whatever the board needs me to do to be, like I said, I'm the.
And remember, the board chairman sets the committees.
Yes, I
They're
understand.
appointed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm just trying to be helpful.
I guess which ones do you want to give to these guys? Because, George, you've got 6.
I'm
Which 3 do you want to give up?
not gonna give up any of them unless the board chairman takes them away.
A couple of those, George and I are on. It's a 6-year term, goes through 28. And they don't meet very often. So I would take those off as far as,
How often do they meet?
Last year, the Brownfield meeting met once, and that was to just close the books. That's all we meant.
Okay, well, that leaves, I was gonna say, I don't meet very often either. 2 of them don't. The only one I have that meets a lot is Michigan Works, but MSU Extension and MMR. So what do we want to do? Go down and see which ones meet on a regular basis? And then divide those up?
most of these appointments were made at the beginning of the last year
Your term started.
when the term started. So I would be inclined to leave them that way.
Well, you need to give, Tim is only on one, right now you're not on any,
No, I'm not in anything.
Yeah.
I don't meet anytime, anywhere.
you know.
Would you like to be on the Saginaw Bay?
No, the Saginaw Bay is an alternate, I'm on, or, are you talking about Great Lakes?
No,
Oh, this one here,
Is,
Saginaw Bay. Yeah, what is that one? It says unknown. What is Saginaw Bay? Is that, I think that's Great Lakes, Michigan Works.
AG, do you know?
I don't. I thought that one was taken off a while back because we weren't part of it.
Should
I
this
think
one be taken
that-
off?
I think you're missing the airport
Yeah, the airport's not on.
yeah, the airport is not on there.
committee. And Steve, are you on that one? No.
No,
I was appointed by Dave beyond that board.
George is on it.
So for the official record, we're gonna scratch Saginaw Bay and put in
Yes.
airport.
Yes. And the airport is in Tim's district, most of it.
Beats and who's?
Tim's district.
Tim's district?
Most of it.
Then he should probably be on it if it's in his district.
It would be a dual appointment.
Yeah, I would think that would be good.
Used to be a lot of times that two commissioners used to sit on MMR. Like that was Rollin Marinack and myself, and then Rollin retired. And then for a long time, we didn't have an extra person.
I was on MMR. I went just because.
When you were the alternate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have to not go to it.
no, well,
Go to it.
yeah, and I think they let the alternate vote too, so that makes it good.
Yeah.
But on some of them, like Michigan, like the Great Lakes, Michigan Bay or Michigan Works. That one, you have to we can only have one person from Gratiot County representing the board. And I'm lost.
He goes, so he knows what's going on.
I gotta tell you
If
something,
he's the
even
alternate.
if I don't, if they have to have, you have to have a quorum, in order to do that, you have to have somebody there. And if all of us can't be there, then they don't have it because we all have to vote. As an alternate, you don't get to vote, no.
But he should go so he knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah, he can go, yes.
So
but-
he's really on 1, 2. So if he's on Northern Michigan, Great Lakes Works and MMR to go to, and then airport.
No, those are 2 alternates and he really needs, what I'm saying, well, no matter how you look at it. Yeah, you can put them there, but nobody should have, six. George is on 6 of them. Now, you can double all of us up. George, why don't you go on some of these with me? You were on MMR with me last year, so I don't know why you put Tim on when George was already on there.
So that he can,
Tim, whose place did you take? I can't remember who was over there.
Where?
When you ran last year, whose place did you take?
John Limmerman.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lemon.
that's right. So what boards was John on? John was on the airport? Was he on the airport?
I didn't take any.
Well,
It was created,
no. When you took and won that seat, you took John Letterman's place. Anything that he was on, that's what you should be taking.
that's news to me.
Oh, it's up to the chairman. Just because your name is there once doesn't mean it's the chairman makes the point. That's all I can tell you.
That's true, but one person, no matter how you look at this, George, you are on 6 major boards.
Mhm.
And you have Tim that's on alternates. And so, no, he needs to have a couple of yours. It'd be nice if you'd say, these 2 you can have, because I really don't care. Or I care, but I want to be fair.
The board chair.
Ellen,
Okay, let me suggest Commission on Aging and the airport. Why don't you take those 2? That would give you 2, and you'd be an alternate on,
Okay, I don't even see the airport.
that's because.
I'll just write it in.
On there.
The airport.
Instead of taking George off here.
So-
At 2.
I'm on the airport. How often do they meet?
Once we've been meeting every month.
Why not? Why would?
This is the advisory.
Every month.
Well, this month's the 9th.
Well, that'd be a week from today.
I think it was the 9th. Let me just cut.
So is it the second Tuesday or?
That's the 9th to the 10th. Let me double check here.
That would take-
Airport's,
You're
on the
back.
10th, sorry, I missed.
Correct. That's the one that meets monthly.
Wednesday, the 10th, Tim,
Still on the health department. And then,
You're on the health
1
department.
o'clock.
yes. And it says I'm a half on somewhere else. here. Let's see, Parks and Rec.
Oh,
Health
the
Department.
northern, up in the northern.
Where do they meet?
If I'm on the northern one still, then that's my, I'm
That's
on,
yours.
1
I'm
o'clock.
on 3.
So I'm on that. Who else is on the airport committee?
That one we just voted on,
That's
that's
Dave.
the rules stipulate that Dave has to be the chairperson of that. We just voted on.
He's the airport authority.
he have.
We're the airport authority. We're talking about
Oh, to be
the
an appointment.
advisory committee.
Okay, all right, my bad. I say we just, was one of the highlights.
Yeah,
Just
computer, isn't it?
I guess for right now, Tim, I'd like to keep you on Northern Michigan rather than the health department.
That's supposed to be fun.
What is, you'll be missing out if you don't go to that. It's a bit of a drive, but
Gets paid mileage.
I've been sharing rides
How often do they meet?
monthly.
Monthly.
Northern Michigan.
What's it called? It's called Northern?
Northern Michigan Counties Association. It's got some guy named Gay as an appointee.
I'm the only one.
I may,
And I don't know where they meet or when.
We could set you up with
Yeah,
that.
no.
get you
How did you guys go together?
I got appointed to it when I was appointed to the board. Dave had been on this and
I stayed as an alternate.
he stayed as the alternate and he actually had the emails because they didn't even have, he got me all the emails of what was going on. And then after I got those, I was able to communicate with the guy who kind of organizes it and heads it up. And now I get those
You still
emails.
do that for Tim?
Sure.
Okay, me too.
Is there, I can get it.
We've been sharing rides.
John at MSU has his
Sure, right.
information.
With
But I'm the only one. Who do I share rights?
the guy from Isabella County. Jerry Jalasinski.
Dave will set you all up with all that stuff.
I don't do a good job finding new places. The health place in Mount Calm County is so hard. There's just a bunch of buildings there. And you go around and round and round, and I have a hard time finding new places, but,
Do you put it in your GPS?
oh,
Okay, you know, if you put it in your GPS, you can
yeah.
sleep on it up there.
Don't do that, you're on the road. Don't do what she tells you to.
So I put my GPS on, and I'm just a singing along, and all of a sudden I realize I've gone by.
So I'm on 2. Am I supposed to be an alternate on something else? 'Cause I'm Parks and Rec and Health Department with George.
Parks and the health department. Yeah, you should be. What do you want?
Do you need an alternate to the Northern Michigan counties? It's fun.
Oh, you could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly, Dave,
Yeah, cool field trips on that one.
let me ask you, Dave, are you the alternate now to the Northern Michigan counties?
I am, but,
Want to give that up for Steve?
Steve would be a good one for that.
He's over there.
I told you, you could stop on the way up there now.
Yeah, I just need to know where you live now, Tim. I'll drive.
There
I
you
like to
go.
drive. There we
There you
go.
go. All set.
Because it sounds like you go, I mean, you guys have been all over the northern part of the, because we're about as far.
So Steve, you're,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be your,
you're in, northern,
yep, I'm gonna be your alternate to the Northern
and,
Michigan.
we could go together.
There you go.
And,
If,
and,
the guy from Isabella County, he likes to ride along too, so we got to pick up a
Okay.
Shepherd, so.
Hey, if one of you guys can't go, then I wanna go.
and we meet once a month, road trip,
Yep.
but you don't know when or anything.
I don't have it right here in front of me, but I can get you the guy's name from he sends emails out about what's going on, so I'll just get him your contact information and your email. And he'll start, and I'll let him know you're gonna be the appointee, I'll be, oh, he's got them already? Okay. All right.
So you
But
should,
I'll also make sure that he has.
so you'll get the email, Tim.
Okay.
Well, that'll be fun. If you guys can't go, let me know. I'd like to go. Just. It'd be fun.
We're gonna work together, Tim, and we're gonna have
Northern
here. in our
and counties in the airport. I'm an alternate on Great Lakes Bay, Michigan Works.
Uh-huh.
Does that meet at all? Does that meet at all?
Yeah,
Michigan works, yeah.
just about every month.
Soon,
Could you tell me when,
Oh, yeah.
Jane, could you tell me when they're meeting?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's happening. We're in a process of change. We're gonna be meeting in Isabel County 1 month and 1 month in Saginaw. And I'm also on the executive board, so I meet in Saginaw too. So I actually go 3 times.
Oh, tell me when you're,
Sometimes twice a month and sometimes every, but yeah, it'll be 3 different places and they always contact me.
The guy's name that you'll get the emails from is John Amarin, Amrhein.
would you be,
AM.
Amrhein,
H
right from the MSU extension.
I am.
Yep. Yep.
So Dave, which one did you lose?
Northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan?
Well, and Saginaw Bay.
Yeah, because they got rid of that one off there, yeah.
I don't think we even go to Saginaw Bay anymore.
No, they scratched it off.
That was about 6 years
I think
ago.
it had to do with Michigan Works. Saginaw Bay was part of Michigan Works too, I think. That's been on there for a long time. I just never paid attention to who was on there.
Well,
So, okay.
I just. I hope I don't say something wrong and get kicked out again, like these airport guys, they may not like what I say.
Tim, trust me. You don't say half as much as I say. And
I don't, and that's what really bugs me about this health thing.
Well, you can still go as in the.
Yeah, I know,
Why don't you do that?
yeah,
You can go and sit in the audience and then you can voice your opinion there.
Okay, so then the final part of this packet is the calendar, the schedule for the next year for 2024 for the board meetings. If you will note, there are two with asterisks, which are August 5th and November 4th. Because of the election, those meetings will be held on Monday.
Okay, listen, I'm still looking at this sheet. Can we get a new sheet on this? So we can-
Yes, you will get all of the bylaws. Once it's passed, you will get all of this packet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and you're doing the agenda here. Yeah, that, nobody knows until the time comes. You could always have emergency and have to change a date here, but it looks okay to me. It's every first and third.
It is, with the exception of the two elections. Okay. So I will need you guys to pass this, and then once that is approved, then I'll make sure that I get it all to you. It does need to be approved.
Over the holidays real quick too,
Okay,
since it's gonna be passed to the same time.
we'll do it all together.
I wanted to talk about that too.
Yep, so
I don't know.
the holiday schedule that has been provided to you, the draft is based on what our non-personnel policy is. It's all of the days that have been laid out as previously approved.
Sheila, I was looking at this at my home and I think I left that paper on my desk.
You can have my copy if you'd like.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because of the way that it falls this year, I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, I must have left it. Thank you.
Okay.
So the big one on here was Christmas. New Year's, right?
You can't move either one of them, Jan.
Can't move Christmas, and you can't move
They're
New
set.
Year's. It's one on the 25th, one's on the 1st. That's the way it is.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why not. We could have Christmas on. No, what I was gonna say that we, that's like the shit I thought I had at home.
I think the courts have a problem with it too. I mean, we can't do a lot with it because the courts by statute have to have certain days off.
Well, what I'm wondering is this, is that you have Christmas, which is on Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me do this. I did was working on this at home, and I left it. Wednesday is Christmas. We got Monday and Tuesday. Usually you get the day before off.
We do.
Do.
Get
If
Christmas.
you look at,
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
we have
Tuesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thursday and Friday, Saturday, okay, that would be the 26, 27, 28.
Again, we're off the 24th and the 25th.
And then, do you come back to work then?
Yes.
That's Thursday.
29, 30, and 31. So on the 31st and the 1st, you would also get those days off.
Correct.
Which is Tuesday and Wednesday.
And you still have Saturday and Sunday off.
Correct.
So you literally, you're gonna work, have a day off, work, day off, work, day off, day off.
Yes.
That's why we give our employees paid time off so that they can use their PTO on those days for vacation.
I see.
I mean, just this year, we were closed Friday and Monday. Chris and I were here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we were closed Friday, Monday. And then Chris and I were here, and that's just the way it is.
I would have known, I would have came over and talked to you guys.
But your other employees chose to use their
They did
PTO
not.
days and
Correct.
so they.
Yep.
Yeah. I imagine this place was pretty.
It was quiet. We were really, really.
Other than what's going on in the courtrooms, it's probably really.
I think wasn't the court's empty too?
Yes.
One court in session, I believe.
The only other question that I would raise is July 4th this year is on Thursday. And last year, July 4th was on Tuesday. We gave staff the Monday off. I would put forth that we give staff the Friday after the 4th off. That gives them a 4-day weekend.
I would agree with that too.
Now, I want to make sure that, can we do something? The sheriff's department didn't get put in that last year, did they?
Right.
I'd like to amend that. I would like to make sure that you guys get something this year, so.
What do you suggest, Mike?
Well, of course, we have to run 24/7, so
Of course,
if you get a holiday, the only way to make it right is to bonus check.
So they do get paid out for all of their holidays at the end of the year, so we could add another day.
I think that'd be a very nice thing for
Maybe it's a
the.
one-time thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, would be just one time. That's just the way the dates fall. And so. If I'm looking around and everybody's not saying no. So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we would allow the 5th of July to be a staff holiday.
That's already written in.
You know, it's not, it's
It's
the
not.
4th of July.
Right here.
I,
I'm sure it's just for Ken.
Someone wrote it in.
That is not a.
Somebody just wrote
Somebody
it in
just
there,
wrote it.
but that was,
I wish supported that.
No, absolutely. You guys is right there. That was not what you were thinking.
I have a question too. Yeah, going back to the holiday. I just have to ask this to our clerk. As a clerk who's here, are you as busy on the Tuesday before Christmas as you are? I mean, do you have a lot of people in the day before Christmas? Or do you have a lot of people in the day after Christmas?
Courthouse is closed that day before Christmas. It's a holiday.
Christmas Eve is holiday.
Okay,
But the week of Christmas and New Year's, we are busy because people have that time off that they're coming to our office to get work done. So
or is it,
by my
okay,
office,
how about the deeds office and the treasurer's office?
I can't speak. I don't.
Are they open though?
A lot of the public have that time off, so they come in here to do business during
Okay.
that.
So we have a motion in a
Yep.
second about.
I supported George's motion to do that.
Motion by George, supported by Steve to
Include,
employees
July.
July 5th off for 2024 only. All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Opposed, nay.
and just make sure that the police department gets,
Yep.
which I'm sorry, they're not police,
Sheriff's Department.
sheriff's
Should
department,
we have put that in the motion?
this representative.
I think he did in the initial motion to make sure that that the sheriff's department got the,
I just want to make sure that they're included because that was my bad last year. Okay. Whatever.
Hey, what is Juneteenth?
it's the newest federal holiday. Juneteenth, yep.
It's the freeing of the slaves in Texas.
Yep.
It's the day.
Yeah,
it's the-
communication was really bad back then. They didn't know they were free.
It is the last moment when
Yep.
slaves knew that they were free.
Yep, that's the day. That was the day,
Yep.
The date change.
not the day it took effect, but the day that they.
Correct.
Still not gonna be free, but
Uh-huh.
that's the date.
Okay, so we need a motion to consider approve the rules of organization and the holiday schedule and the meeting schedule and board assignments. Motion by George, supported by Steve.
Just
Get in there quick.
Yeah, I know this was an auction sale.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
I thank you all. I will get this,
Thank you.
all the
Thank you, Sheila.
adjustments
Good
made and
job.
get it out to them.
Good job, Sheila. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Any additional public comment?
What things to do, though.
Okay, so need to go into a closed session.
Oh, yeah. I would make a motion that we go into closed session to consult with our attorney regarding trial and settlement.
Motion by George, second by Tim to go in closed session. All those in favor, say aye.
The information we will be presenting to you in closed session will not result in any discussions, so we will not come back out publicly on YouTube for any decisions.
Is that the
Gotta
same,
get-
the,
Public.
One other thing I always like to know from the sheriff,
Correct. It
how's
will be
the
an
county
update.
doing?
so we're going into closed session.
Correct.
Chuck is on.
Is that,
So George, can I have you amend, can I?
3 starting the police academy here soon, don't you?
Into closed session.
Monday, yeah.
Oh,
Where do they start
we
that
need
at?
to amend our
the ending litigation.
Yeah.
And union negotiation.
Okay,
And then when we come out, we're just.
yeah,
gonna
just make
this.
this.
And this is just for close, just for elected officials.
Okay, I
I just have a quick question. What's the city of Ithaca public hearing at 7:00?
It's for tax abatement for a plant down in the industrial park. Yep.
Thank you.